You shall remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. This is the words that God has for Moses as he gives him one of the 10 commandments at Mount Sinai. We are to remember the Sabbath day. The Sabbath day is a day of rest from our daily labors that we go through in this life, a chance to rest and to relax, and a chance of refreshment, because we live in a world that is chaotic. It's go, 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 go. And so the Sabbath is a time for us as God's people to rest. But how do we keep it holy? We keep it holy by remembering it and also using that Sabbath to rest, to also gather as God's people, to sing his praises, to thank him for everything in this life, to hear his word read and proclaimed, and to receive his body and blood at the altar. This is how we remember the Sabbath day and we keep it holy. The Sabbath is not a law, it is gospel. It is God's gift to man to remind us to take time from time to time to relax and to refresh and to get away from the hustle and bustle of our everyday life and to spend time with him in that refreshment and relaxation. Jesus tells us in Mark chapter 2 that Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Sometimes as Christians, we get so caught up in the law of the Sabbath that we have to do this, that we have to do this, that we forget that it is truly gospel, that God has given us the Sabbath as a gift, a time to relax as his people and to refresh ourselves as we prepare for the next week of work. In the Old Testament, the Sabbath was celebrated on Saturday, and literally everything would stop on Friday evening until the sun went down on Saturday evening. There was no work that was done on the Sabbath. And this is how the Jewish people marked the Sabbath. But also God used it as a time to remind the earlier Israelites as they were making their way to the Promised Land, when they were in the Promised Land, what he had done for them, how he had rescued them from slavery. And we use the Sabbath, we use Sunday as a time to remind ourselves and and for us to remember how we are free from sin, death, and the devil because of Jesus Christ, because of his death on the cross and his resurrection from the dead. And so we ask that you would please use your Sabbath as a time of rest and restoration. If you'd like to know more about the Sabbath and how it's been observed through the Old Testament and the New Testament and how it was fulfilled in the coming of Jesus, then please join us for worship here at St. Matthew. Or you can visit us on our website at www.stmats.net.